Hold on.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is that a camera? Is that?
Like one.
Are they looking at us?
It's like, wait a minute, today's Tuesday.
You know what time it is? It's game time.
It is.
Taco Tuesday. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, y'all. Look, we didn't even know. We didn't even know y'all were there. Look, I'm Chris Sapp. I'm with the boy.
Yeah, Steve Foster. By the way, this isn't scripted. We just kind of
we just
flowed right into this, right?
It just happened. It just happened to work out, man.
Are we talking about the power of intention?
Wait, did we manifest?
I think we. No, I don't think they understand what really just happened.
Now listen, if you come in here, if this is your first time, rewind, go back, check out the previous episode because this is part two. Part two. What is this part two of, my brother?
Of course, this is part two of manifestation and mental health.
And look, don't be a weird guest. Don't just walk up in somebody's house and don't speak. You know what I mean? Come holler at us. Talk to us. What do you think? Share with your friends. Share with your mom. Share with your dog.
Please.
You know, everybody got social media these days. Your dog probably got it too. You don't even know about it.
Yes.
But no, leave a comment. Share. We want to interact with you guys. So let us know what you think. But Steve,
Please do.
part two, man.
Part two of this thing.
Let's get into it, man.
Yeah.
So what are we going to talk about today? Like I said, we talked about manifestation last episode. We didn't really go into detail on techniques and things of that nature, but
Got to talk about the benefits.
we got to definitely talk about the benefits.
Yeah, it's
of it,
benefits,
well.
right?
Yes.
So apparently there are some things that are on our table right now. As you can see, there are two books.
This dude look familiar on the back of this one.
Oh, really?
I don't know. This dude, he looked a little younger than somebody. He looked like a dude I know, just a younger version.
Oh, yeah, that's him right there. That's Mr. Stephen Foster.
Mr. Stephen Foster.
Thank you so much.
Talk to him, man.
I've been honored to write 3 books. You see, two. My first one, I have to the gentleman that helped me with it. He passed away, and his business passed away with him years ago.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, sir. But these two, developing the heart of a God pleaser, was my second one, and who am I? What is my purpose? Is my third. I believe in inspiring and writing as you go in your life, and I really like developing the heart of a God pleaser because one thing in there talks about having a clean house and a dirty closet. So when you show people your house, do you show them your closet? You don't take time to show them, unless you got one of them big immaculate closets that has like
we ain't doing MTV cribs up in there.
Yeah. So we don't show people our hearts, what's really on the inside of us. So God sees it, and there's some things we can do to fix it. And that book is an amazing tool to help those that are really searching for a deeper meaning of their own personal life.
Now I know. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, bro.
I'm about to say I know, so I know where I can get.
Hey,
but if it's someone who isn't, who doesn't know you, who doesn't know how to pull up on Mr. Foster, is there any way that they could get access to these books?
Sure, they can go on Amazon.
Great. Oh, okay.
Amazon, type it in Google if you want to.
Amazon verified.
That's right. You got that right. Published through Amazon. Who am I? What is my purpose? My last one, I love it. Talks about things you could do to actually overcome that fear or anxiety or whatever you have that's keeping you from having a purposeful life. So it's just some things to kind of like help navigate hurdles. So I love it. Both of them. Put them in your toolbox.
Get both of them, man.
Yes.
Get both of them, y'all.
Yes.
But anyway, like I said, we moving on, man. If we can start by redefining what manifestation is, if you don't mind if I do
Let's
that.
Let's do it, brother. Come on, break it down.
So listen, we talked about manifestation last episode, and for those of you that may not know what it is, just to reiterate, manifestation is the process of turning thoughts, intentions, and desires into reality through belief, focus, and action. Now, we kind of elaborated on a little bit, but we didn't get too deep into it, man. And so before the episode started, I know that me and you were, we kind of got a chance to talk about things prior to the episode, for a little bit longer period of time than we usually do. So I feel like we got an opportunity to get kind of deep into things, man. And we kind of talked about the science versus spirituality in regards to manifestation, man.
That's right.
So, from your perspective, like I know what spiritual says, the belief that energy, thoughts, and emotions shape reality in the law of attraction. Like attracts like, trusting in the universe, divine timing, and alignment. versus scientific perspective, which focuses on RAS, reticular activating system. The brain filters what we focus on, making us notice relevant opportunities. Neuroplasticity, repeated thoughts and beliefs shape our brain and beliefs. And behavior psychology, setting intentions leads to subtle changes in actions that bring results. They're two different perspectives, but I think that the two work together. I mean, I believe that those perspectives can work together.
Sure, they can. Yeah, they can, definitely.
So before we hop into that, do you lean one way? Do you lean more one way as far as like looking at it from a spiritual standpoint, from a scientific standpoint? Do you think you do maybe a mixture of both when it comes to manifesting things for yourself?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of both.
Okay. Likewise.
Because, the Bible says that there's life and death in the power of the tongue. So there are actually a lot of scriptures that speak on, speaking life or proclaiming. And so like proclaiming is actually, is what you're doing is you're developing affirmations. But, so the subconscious is the blueprint. It's a canvas. It's basically, throughout your day, we experience different emotions, different things happen to us. But remember that canvas, and whatever we write in that canvas is what we hold true and dear to our personal life, and it becomes a belief. It becomes a part of our belief system.
Absolutely.
It becomes a part of us, our values, our perspective as a whole. Things can actually change overnight for a person, and we both know that. I'll never forget, I had a good friend, loved God and everything. Wife was a missionary. Him and his daughter, they were like really surprised to see her, and he got a phone call, and the phone call said, "Hey, your wife was coming home, and she got into a car accident, and the truck decapitated the mom." And so when he told his daughter this, and the breaking of right in the middle of getting ready to see his wife or his the girl's mother, he told her, and she said, "I don't believe in God no more." Yeah. Just that instant, it changed her whole psyche. It changed her whole belief, everything about life. So ours, based on the events that we go through, it could change instantly.
Yeah, that's something that I've seen happen in person as well. But I also, especially when it comes to like younger people, man, I understand that mindset, because when something tragic and traumatic happens, man, like you do find yourself asking questions, and you ask why, and oftentimes there isn't a visible answer, and so I can definitely understand how that can change a person's perspective in that regard, man. But I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No. So when it's changed, I mean, we're talking about manifestation. When it's changed, trauma can change it so bad that you get stuck. Yeah. I'm talking. Yeah. Not days, not weeks, years. Yeah. It's almost like, I want to say it's like a haunting, or it's like a cycle. It is a cycle.
And unfortunately, some people never recover from it.
They can, and it's because the big question is why, or how did it happen? And they're stuck dealing with it, trying to process it, trying to understand it. They put their toes in the water a little bit, meaning they'll try to, it happened, and then something will happen to kind of re-trigger it, for them to really start to believe, this is it. I thought life was this way, but it's not. Life is really the opposite.
So for individuals that, because let's be real, as an individual that teaches TOEFL, certified TOEFL, but nah, in TOBA, they actually they actually kind of talk about that, how everyone, we think about our clients and the people that we work with, and almost all of them have dealt with some kind of traumatic event. However, when I'm teaching TOBA, one of the slides talks about, it says, here are a list of things that can be considered a traumatic event. And the whole page is filled up. It's just like, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, it could be a dental procedure, it could be this, it could be that, it could be going to the doctor, it could be. So, and I always tell everybody that I'm training that this is a testament to the fact that yes, your clients go through traumatic experiences, but pretty much everybody that you've encountered in life has dealt with trauma to some extent. So a lot of the things that we talk about up here, especially today, it's beneficial for everyone. Like, I think a lot of times one of the biggest differences between us and the people we work with is that the people we work with they were able to accept, put their ego to the side and accept help, and that's why I always tell people, don't ever allow yourself to look down on those individuals that you work with, because it can be any of us.
That's right.
Any of us, because like I said, we never know what tomorrow holds.
It can. You're right.
And so it's good to be confident, but never arrogant. Because you can be confident, you can feel like you're going to continue to be successful, but like you said, look at what the story you were just talking about. Blink of an eye, life change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I think it's important to be. You can't be too arrogant about life, because life will hit you in the face sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But like I said, we're talking about manifestation. I know we talked about kind of different perspectives on it. Why do you think that manifestation is so important? How do you think it can benefit a person? I know that I've talked to clients, and that sometimes we talk about these things with the individuals that we work with. Now I have had, especially younger kids, a lot of the younger kids I work with, they hear it and the concept itself I've heard some of them say, it sounds silly to them,
mm-hmm.
because they feel like, if I can't see, they have to be able to see. And if they can't see it, they're just like, well, what's the point of it?
Oh yeah.
So I think for individuals like that may be listening to this, I think it's important if we can kind of talk about why manifestation is beneficial and what type of benefits you can get from it.
Oh, for sure. And that you visualizing it is important.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's making it authentic or making it real, not just a dream, but actually like not, when you're asleep and you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard the saying, I think you can be sleep woken up, or you're walking around and you're actually asleep still.
Mm-hmm.
So we really want our dreams, or our real dreams, to come into fruition, or to be here. So when we think on them, remember that blueprint, the canvas, the subconscious. For those that are in ministry, or those that are in church, or Muslims, Buddhists, a lot of them preach a lot of the same foundational practices, and it's believing in something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So believing in something provides resilience.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have that resilience, you can just look at the principles that's based off of that word, resilient. For somebody to be resilient, even let's use Christianity. We're using scriptures, God's ways are not our ways, nor his thoughts our thoughts, but the thoughts that he thinks of us are thoughts of peace and not of evil, to bring us to an expected end. So that's quoting a verse out of Jeremiah and quoting one out of Isaiah. So what we're doing basically, or what the Bible teaches, is for us to become more sound, and not being worried about the things that happen, because things will happen.
Always.
Exactly.
You can't avoid them.
Exactly. And it's accepting that they happen for us in our life, because once again, God is too wise of God to make mistakes, and his ways aren't our ways. We want things to happen the way we want to, and that's not how life is designed. Life is designed, of course, for us to accept some of the things that we don't want to accept.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But I think within itself, so I looked up some of the main factors, or the main focus points of manifestation.
All right.
And I think those within themselves are benefits.
Come on.
The first one says clarity. Clearly define the desires instead of vague hopes. Clarity itself, if you work towards clarity, it's giving you a destination.
Come
in a
on.
sense.
Talk about it.
We don't always know how we're going to get there. But when you have a destination, a clear, defined destination,
Come on.
you're always going to be much more likely to reach that successful point if you know where you're trying to get to.
All right now.
Number 2 is taking action.
Mm-hmm.
Manifestation is co-creation. Without effort, nothing happens. So if one of the main parts of manifestation is taking action,
okay,
if you get that second part down, at least you're being productive. You're trying to create that productivity to reach, now you might not get there exactly when you want to get there. It might not look exactly how you want it to look, but you're taking action. So you're attempting to make progress towards whatever that goal is.
I like that.
And then I think number 3, which is one of the ones I feel is most important, and I definitely would love to hear your view on that. Emotional alignment. Feeling and believing it as if it is already true.
That's right.
Now,
Hey.
and we'll get to this in a few minutes, but I think that one can be a little risky, and if not done properly,
Why would you say that?
So I feel like feeling it and believing it as if it's already true, I feel like you have to kind of tread lightly with that, because let's say, for example, I am trying to, and this is, I know this is a generic example, but I feel like you understand where I'm coming from when I go ahead. Let's just say we talk about, I'm like, I'm gonna manifest this amount of money. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. You can feel and believe it as if it's true, but if I act as and move as, spend as if it's already true, I could kind of put myself in a worse situation. So I feel like yes, you should, but there also requires some balance with that as well. Like you can't be delusional.
Okay.
And I feel like it's a thin line sometimes.
Okay.
And I feel like it's important to still have the confidence and still, like you said, manifest it. But believing it as if it's already true, you can't, like, you still have to be smart about how you move.
That's right.
If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like that.
Yeah, so those are the 3 main points of manifestation.
Let me make sure I got those. Those are
clarity.
Okay.
Taking action.
And
emotional alignment.
Emotional alignment. Interesting. I like those.
Now,
wow.
I know me and you were talking before the episode started about different manifestation techniques. Did you have any that you want to share with
manifestation techniques? Yeah. So, if you could just take a moment to remember when you got you wanted that car. Oh my gosh.
Still do.
Oh man. You wanted that car and you're just like, oh man, I gotta get that car. And then once you get it, you notice there's so many other cars just like the one you wanted on the road. Selective perception, I believe is what it's called. Yep. It's like your intentions is aligned to what you want in life. And you realize that, wow, it's like an on switch. Everybody else has kind of had it. It's because you were focused on other stuff. We're busy. We're busy people. We focus on a lot of different things, right? Yep. I mean, it's hard not to focus on something now. It's like so much stuff is out there now.
Absolutely.
I mean, Jesus. I mean, people are focused on that thing called Friends now. Did you know that? There's a friend. I call it a Friends cult. It's a sitcom, right? Yeah. Yeah, that.
Hold on, stop. I don't want to get hit with that Conga right now.
But so yeah, it's just like it's something there for everybody to kind of identify with. So it's like, what do you want to be identified with? What do you really want in life? Look at your life and really try to jot down what you spend the most of your time doing. What do you spend the most of your time thinking? Take a moment to really do this, because once you do, you'll find what your real focus is in. And it's easy to get frustrated when you're focused on something that's not aligned to what you want. I would get frustrated.
Yeah. And that's actually perfect that you say that, because I think that's a process that has to be done, because you have to be able to, like you said, you have to learn yourself. You have to study yourself. And what are you manifesting until you understand yourself enough to know what you're trying to manifest? You know what I mean? You gotta know where you want to go.
What? You saying there's limitations to this thing? What?
Yeah, man. I mean, if you don't sit down with yourself and have real conversations with yourself and really understand, what do I want in life? Who do I want to be? Like you said, how do I want to be remembered? What do I want to be aligned with? What do I want to be associated with? That's your beginning point. You know, but you have to take the time, and you have to have honest conversations with yourself. Honest. You know what I mean? And actually really sit down and listen to yourself.
Okay.
And from there, I feel like that's one of the most important places to start. I feel like you should start there.
Agree.
You know, because direction is extremely important. From there, I know we have things like visualization and affirmations.
Visualization and affirmations. I was going to say, shout out to Jeremiah and Taya.
Yeah.
Jeremiah and Taya Foster Buddy. They actually last week were able to present to Urban Strategies Inc. Some of the youth and some adults. They did vision boards.
Isn't it funny, because we both work with kids? I mean, we both work with kids and adults. But one thing about kids is that when you look at it on paper, you're like, man, they won't want to do no vision board. Man, they probably gonna have a hissy fit about that.
Yeah.
Those be some of the deepest, most elaborate, well thought out vision boards that you see are the ones that you think ain't gonna want to care, or ain't gonna want to participate in it, or ain't gonna care about it. So I think that's great, man, and kudos to them for doing that. Yeah,
Taya mentioned something. Of course, Jeremiah bought the whole true authentic, in there, the spin in there. Yeah, his brand in there. Big ups to Jeremiah.
Get your hoodies.
Yep, that's right. Get your hoodies. So Taya mentioned something very powerful. and she said, if you can, the feeling that you're feeling now is what you're going to try to discuss. How you're feeling right now at this present moment, but we're going to look at it and examine it. Instead of it being internal, we're going to look at it like we're watching a movie. So for a person, and Taya, thank you for that, because I could use that to kind of like talk about what we're saying now, is that you gotta really see it. Like you said, you gotta visualize it, but you can't attach all of the emotion and anger and everything else or whatever feeling to it. If you can, just examine it, circumspect, look all the way around it, not just from your point of view, but from other point of views as well. By doing this, what you're doing is you're learning a greater sense of self and why we do the things we do, because we're all wired different.
Yeah, exactly.
So he might get mad at the Steelers losing the game, but for me, no.
But that's good. It's something we could talk about in more detail. Man. But you're right. We're wired differently, and it's why I don't subscribe to videos or anything that says, this one size fits all. This strategy works for everyone. If that were the case, we all would be alike. We all would be the same. We'd all like the same things. We'd all like the same team. We'd all be going to the same restaurant. We're different. We're different in so many different ways. Our personalities, the way we look, the things we like, the people we deal with, the people we don't want to deal with. So that's why you have to have that talk with yourself. No one can do it for you. And I think that's difficult, because I know even for myself, looking inside and being truly vulnerable with yourself is one of the most difficult things I've ever had. It's one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Acknowledging my mistakes, acknowledging places I could have done better at that. Maybe I would have been more successful if I would have did this way, or, maybe I have hurt somebody in the past before.
Reflecting?
Reflection, man.
That's a good, that's good. That's manifestation right there. Yeah. Reflecting is great.
Reflecting, because I had to know where my weak areas were at to know what to focus on to make them better. What about affirmations, man? So I've heard a lot of different opinions on affirmations. And as somebody who works with people, I know I keep saying that, but as somebody who works with different clients, I know I've heard a variety of different opinions on it. Personally, I believe it. I believe in it mainly because it's intended to put you in a more confident and positive mindset.
Love it.
I think a lot of people can't get over the whole like, I'm not saying that to myself. I feel dumb. And I can understand that mindset, because I think 16, 17-year-old Chris probably would have said the same thing. But as I've gotten older, I definitely I like positive affirmations a lot. What you're saying, so how do you feel?
Oh man, I love them, man. As a matter of fact, in dialectical behavioral therapy for DBT, there's something called radical statements, and you use radical statements to counter the negative connotation. So typically we say things in our head like, I'm so dumb, or why did I do that? We kind of, we play the victim role on ourselves a lot. So instead of really doing that, just with the radical statement, it's just something that has that punch to it that you can say to yourself every day. Matter of fact, you could put it on a sticky. Get you a pack of stickies, Walmart, somewhere, Walgreens, and you can put some simple 3-word, 4, 5, 6-word sentences, and you can put that thing right on your mirror, right in your bathroom. I am bold.
Yeah.
I'm a king.
Yeah.
I appreciate myself a lot better, by focusing on the peripheral that's in front of you and not behind you, because we got eyes in the back of our head, man. Guys in front of our head. So
I love that, man. And so what were you saying? You said maybe put them on like your mirror or something that.
Yep.
You take when you read it, you're taking it in internally, and then when you speak them out loud, you're putting that truth into the air.
That's vibration. That's the science that you were talking about. Yeah. And then again, what you're doing too. Life and death and the power of the tongue.
Talk to them, man.
There it is, science and spirituality.
And blending them together.
That's right.
If you don't mind, man, before we move on, I did have a couple of unique ones. I just want to read over them real quick, because it might be something that somebody hears and they say, "Oh, I ain't never think about that." So you mind if I kind of go over?
Man, go over it.
So look, a couple that I found that I just thought were really cool and I wanted to share. The acting as if technique, which is behaving like the person who already has what you want. Example, if manifesting a successful career, start dressing, speaking, and working like you already have it. I think that's a great one. Another one I saw was the 3-6-9 method. Right? 3-6-9. 3-6-9. Song break. No, but the 3-6-9 method, writing your desire 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night for 1 to 2 months. Like I said, I thought I had never heard that one before, but I thought it was worth sharing with everyone. 2 more. One is the 2-cup method. Label 2 cups, one with your current reality and one with your desired reality. Pour water from the current reality cup into the desired reality cup and drink it, symbolizing a shifting into a new reality.
Come on, man.
I like that. And then last but not least, the letting go and trusting. Manifestation works best when there's trust, not desperation. So example is releasing the need to control every step and trusting the process.
My hands just go like this, right? When you did that, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's including letting go of energy.
Yeah. Facts.
That's letting go of certain things that you just want to hold on to. Now, we're not trauma specialists in this house right now, but a lot of trauma you can hold on to. And a lot of trauma can actually hold on to you.
Ooh, put it on a shirt.
So while we're trying to fight demons, or you're out there saying, hey, devil's after you. I hate to say this, but trauma itself could be after you, and that's just within ourselves. It's the enemy that's in me. So just be very. I like what you mentioned. The things that you mentioned are very powerful. So utilizing those skills and really getting a better sense of self is really what's needed for us to understand how to use the right techniques for, as you spoke on, manifestations.
Absolutely.
So thank you, man. That was deep, man. I like that, man.
Trying to help the people out, myself as well. Before we end, man, is it okay if we briefly talk about some common mistakes that people make, so maybe we can help these individuals avoid those same mistakes?
Go for it. Let's do it.
Number 1, being too vague, saying I want to be rich versus I want to earn 10K a month through my business. Clarity makes manifestation more effective. Number 2, not taking action, thinking positively but not making real efforts. For example, manifesting a job but not applying for one.
Oh,
where they do that now? Come on now. Doubting the process, saying affirmations but internally thinking this is stupid or this won't happen for me. Defeats the whole purpose of it.
Contradiction.
Manifestation from a place of lack or desperation, wanting something because you feel incomplete without it, as opposed to really truly want
what.
Number 5, not releasing resistance, trying to control every single step. And this is kind of piggybacking off of what we just said. Trying to take control of every single step without trusting the process. And last but not least, ignoring limiting beliefs. Deep-rooted beliefs may block results. For example, wanting love but believing that all relationships fail. So yeah,
I like that.
Just wanted to go. So listen, those are limited. Those are things mistakes that people commonly make. It's difficult to fight those sometimes. Oftentimes it's our brain doing it and we don't even realize it. But once again, that's why I said it's important to have those conversations with yourself and truly be transparent with yourself, because you can't work on something that you haven't acknowledged. You can't work on something that you haven't identified.
Come on.
So that's why it's super important to, like we stated before, have those talks with yourself. Me and Mr. Foster, we both have our places where we go outside. Sometimes we'll sit by ourselves and we'll just think, and we'll get our thoughts collected. And that's a very important part of life. It's something that I wish I knew when I was a little bit younger. But hey, you know what they say, man, better now than never, right?
That's right, man. That's right. Man, you spitting today, man. I love it, brother.
Nah, man, I'm just trying to keep up with you, brother.
We keep up with each other, man. That's what we do, man. Absolutely, I love it, man. I love it. That's why we the mental health boy.
The mental health boy. You got any closing thoughts for today, man?
Yeah, so I remember, just with anything, I've always believed, I don't know how it happened. Maybe when I was 9 years old, I've been very business oriented, like just business. A couple things that I would do personally, or I did personally, that kind of helped me stay in front of, my manifestations have been, like you were saying, I mean, it's been a picture. And I might put it in my dash in the car, or if I wanted a house. We were able to buy our first house. I think Kiki might have been 23. I think I might have been 21. But we stuck to the plan. We stuck to the plan of, all right, these are all the bills we got to do. So what can we do to take care of it? So we would always have a meeting, and I took that same concept and applied it just to myself. It's time for a meeting with Steven, Stevie, all of us. We're going to have a meeting, all of myselves, and discuss, all right, what are we looking like? It's February, right? Yes, but it's not too late to start. But it is 2025. It's not too late to start, man.
Yeah, it really is.
So your New Year's resolutions or whatever they are, you can still speak life. You can still speak it. You can still do it.
It's as long as you're above ground, it is never too late. It's never too late. And listen,
Never too late.
yeah, time. One thing I learned, man, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. It doesn't matter what's happening in your life. Time waits for no man.
That's right.
So if you can't stop time, stop yourself and sit down and actually have a conversation with yourself and figure out how you're going to get to the place that you want to be. Figure out where you want to be.
Come on.
And then figure out how you're going to get to the place you want to be. Once again, and you know what? To end, I want to say, I'm challenging everybody.
Come on.
I'm challenging everybody to at least try one of these techniques that we talked about.
Yes.
At least one. And don't forget, listen, if you do that, comment, let us know what you're going to work on.
Yes.
Let us know what kind of aspirations you have. And like I said, we look forward to interacting with you guys in the comments, man. And of course, share with your peoples, man. Share with your peoples. We want to create a healthy community. And like I said, I know we are the mental health boys, but this ain't an all boy. It's not like the boys' treehouse. No girls allowed, Everybody's welcome. We want to hear what you guys have to say, and we really are looking forward to interacting with you guys as well. So we hope to talk to you guys soon. Keep striving for your dreams, keep identifying your dreams, and then striving for your dreams, keep being better people, and just keep trying to be better every day. We love y'all.
All right. Yes, to the sky.
I'm Chris Sapp.
Stephen Foster here.
We out of here.
All right.